Have you ever felt like life is just about getting through the day, constantly battling obstacles and never quite reaching the place of peace and fulfillment? What if I told you that surviving isn't all there is? That you have the power to move beyond merely existing and step into a life of thriving. Today, we're going to explore how you can break free from survival mode and transform your life into one full of purpose, joy, and growth. Let's dive in. Welcome, beautiful souls. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that surviving is enough. Sometimes people live their entire lives in the state of survival and don't even know it. In a world where struggles seem unending and challenges come at us from every direction, we may find ourselves simply pushing through day by day, just trying to make it. Surviving is what we do when we don't feel strong enough to live beyond the pain or refuse to face the pain that we have hidden inside. It's what we do when we're trapped in a cycle that feels unbreakable, when our minds and our bodies are weighed down by the burdens of life. But what if surviving isn't the destination? What if surviving is just the beginning? What if there's a higher calling within us? One that invites us to thrive, to fully step into the beauty and strength and the purpose that are waiting just beneath the surface of our daily struggle. This story is of transformation, the kind of transformation that takes you from merely existing to embracing a life full of potential, joy, and growth. It's a story of shifting from survival to thriving. Let's talk about surviving for a moment. We've all been there. Life has a way of testing us, and sometimes it feels like there's no end to the weight we carry. The hardships we face, the heartache, the disappointments, the failures can leave us feeling small. In moments like these, surviving feels like a victory in itself. When all we can do is get through the day without completely breaking down, surviving feels like enough. And sometimes it is. Surviving can feel like all there is to life, but I promise there's way more to life than just surviving. But what happens when surviving becomes the norm? What happens when we get used to the pain, to the struggles, to the emotional exhaustion? The truth is, it becomes harder to dream, harder to hope, harder to believe that there's anything more out there for us. We become numb to the possibility of something better, convincing ourselves that we're not worthy or capable of thriving. It's time to challenge that belief. You are worthy, you are capable, and you are not meant for just survival. Thriving is not about perfection. It's not about a life free of pain or struggle. Thriving is about embracing the fullness of who you are, about discovering the strength and resilience within you didn't even know existed. It's about looking beyond the challenges you faced and realizing that those very challenges have shaped you into someone capable of greatness. Thriving is the willingness to see life as an opportunity for growth, even when everything around you seems to be falling apart. But thriving doesn't just have to happen on its own. It requires conscious effort, a willingness to show up for yourself, and a deep trust in the process of transformation. It's about making a decision that surviving is no longer enough, and that you're ready to step into the fullness of your potential. So how do we go from surviving to thriving? The first step is self-awareness. You have to recognize where you are. You have to be honest with yourself about the ways which you've been surviving and what's been holding you back. Sometimes we have to admit that we are the problem, or at least a part of the problem, which can be hard. This can cause pain, but it also can be a turning point to something so much greater. Take a moment to reflect on your life, your thoughts, your actions, your habits. Are you living in alignment with your true self? Or are you merely getting by? Are you allowing fear, doubt, or past experiences to dictate the way you show up in the world? Self-awareness is the foundation for any transformation. It's about recognizing that you are the creator of your reality. You are not a passive observer. You have the power to shift your mindset, your habits, and your approach to life. When you understand where you are and why you're there, you can make the choice to move forward. But self-awareness is not always easy. It requires honesty and vulnerability to look at yourself in the mirror and acknowledge the ways you may be holding yourself back. It's about understanding that surviving is often a coping mechanism. It's a way of protecting yourself from more pain, but it's also keeping you from thriving. When you recognize this, you gain the power to change. You gain the power to move from survival mode into a place where you begin to thrive. The second step is releasing what no longer serves you. This may sound simple, but it's often one of the hardest things to do. We get attached to our stories, our pain, our past, to the familiar, even the toxicness. We hold on to the toxic relationship, the limiting beliefs, the old patterns of behavior because they become familiar. We convince ourselves that we need these things to survive, but the truth is those things are weighing us down. They are holding us back from experiencing a life we were meant to live. Releasing what no longer serves you is an act of self-love. It's about choosing to let go of the things, people, and beliefs that are keeping you stuck in a cycle of survival. It's about clearing space for new opportunities, new growth, and new beginnings. This step is not always easy, but it is necessary. When you release what no longer serves you, you create room for something better. You open yourself to healing, to growth, and to the possibility of thriving. Letting go can be an emotional process, and it may take time, but it's an essential part of the transformation. The third step is embracing the power of your thoughts. Our thoughts shape our reality. What we think, we become. If you continue to think thoughts of limitation or scarcity or fear, that is what will manifest in your life. But when you shift your thinking to thoughts of abundance, possibility, and empowerment, you create a life that reflects those beliefs. Thriving requires a mindset shift. It requires you to believe in your worth, your potential, and your ability to overcome any challenge that comes your way. Your thoughts are the starting point for creating the life you desire. You have the power to choose your thoughts, and in doing so, you have the power to choose your future. The key is to recognize that you can change your thoughts at any time. You have the ability to transform negative self-limiting beliefs into empowering, life-affirming beliefs. It's about deciding that you are worthy of success, worthy of peace, and worthy of living a life you've always dreamed of. The fourth step is cultivating self-compassion. We are often our own harshest critics. We beat ourselves up for not being good enough, for not doing enough, not achieving enough, for not having achieved everything we think we should have by now. But self-compassion is about showing yourself the same kindness, understanding, and patience that you would show a friend. When you're thriving, you're not perfect. You're human. And that means you will make mistakes. You will fall down. You will face setbacks. But thriving is about how you rise after each fall. It's about being gentle with yourself in the process and acknowledging that growth is not always linear. Self-compassion allows you to embrace your journey without judgment, to recognize that you are enough just as you are, and to honor yourself in every step of this transformation. This process of self-compassion doesn't mean that you'll stop striving for excellence, but it means you'll treat yourself with understanding during the difficult moments. You won't let failure define you. Instead, you'll use every setback as an opportunity to propel you forward in your growth. Self-compassion fosters resilience, and it's an essential ingredient in the journey from surviving to thriving. The fifth step is taking inspired action. Thriving is not a passive experience. It requires action. But it's not just any action, it's inspired action, the kind of action that comes from a place of alignment with your true self, your goals, and your values. When you take inspired action, you're moving with purpose and intention rather than out of obligation or fear. Taking inspired action means trusting yourself and your inner guidance. It's about following the nudges of your heart, even when they don't make sense on paper. It's about stepping into the unknown with faith and courage, knowing that every step you take is moving you closer to the life you were created to live. It's important to note that inspired action is not about doing everything all at once. It's about taking small, deliberate steps in the direction of your dreams. Every positive choice, no matter how small, is an investment into your future. Trust that every step forward, no matter how challenging it may feel, is guiding you towards your highest potential. And finally, thriving requires patience. Transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey, not a destination. There will be ups and downs, twists and turns, but each step forward is a victory. Don't rush the process. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be, and hold your thoughts captive to the truth of the life you desire to live, and that everything is unfolding in divine timing. You are not meant to just survive. You are meant to thrive. You are meant to step into your power, embrace your purpose, and live a life that fills you with joy, peace, and fulfillment. You are meant to rise above the challenges and grow stronger because of them. You are meant to create a life that reflects the beauty, strength, and wisdom that reside within you. So I ask you today, are you ready to move from surviving to thriving? Are you ready to release what no longer serves you and step into the fullness of who you were created to be? The choice is yours. The power is in your hands, and the world is waiting for you to shine. Remember, you are worthy, you are enough, and you are capable of thriving and living a life you love. Until next time, choose to make today the best day yet and love the life you're living.